Extraordinary podcast. Come on. Welcome to the Be Extraordinary podcast. Welcome to the Be Extraordinary podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in
Welcome to the Be Extraordinary podcast.
podcast. Let's go!
Good evening. Good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? We just want to welcome you to the Be Extraordinary podcast. And we are so excited that you're on the show today. As you know, I am Joetta, the host of the show, and we have an amazing show for you. But before we bring you on and talk about the amazing guests and the opportunity for you to speak to our amazing guests, we want you to know who I am. I am your four-time Olympian. I'm an author. I'm a leading authority on wellness and motivation and mental health. And, you know, I like to make sure that I help individuals and make things better through fitness, through nutrition. And that is what it's all about. This podcast is a show that we use. And I always talk about my P's, and my P's are part of the podcast. We have the Be Extraordinary podcast. And as the host of the show, I have my P's. And these are the P's that I use for life, that I use in sports, and I want to share them with you. The first P is to have a purpose, get prepared, be patient, get perturbed, and persevere. And the last P is, of course, pray. Pray for everything in all situations. I'm sitting here next to my host, Tyrone Johnson, and it's great to see you.
Nice to see you again, Mr. Webb.
Yes, on this May 11th, Wednesday. We're again together doing this podcast, the Be Extraordinary podcast. And it is extraordinary because you have some of your F's that you want to share with our guests.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Welcome back on this May 11th. Like she said, May is kind of cruising. It's the 11th already. And we're going to let you know some of the things that's still coming up in May. But for now, I just want to go over those 5 F's that I go by every day, starting with the faith. My faith in God, my faith that he'll get me through a lot of things. You know, sometimes I have to work myself, okay? My finances, that's to keep me, you know, sustainable in whatever I want to achieve. Family is always important. I have so many people, especially some people on this podcast that have become family. You know, you guys been watching me for going on, you know, a year and a half, 2 years, and some people before that. Miss Leslie, thank you. Now, my fitness, I'm doing well in that aspect because I'm paying attention to the things that I'm putting in my system. And last but not least, friends. You know, people got to have friends. You have to have friends. Some friends get you through some things that you can't get through yourself. So that's my 5 F's.
Well, that's good. You know, we always talk about family, talk about friends, talking about being perturbed and being patient and praying. And it's just an amazing blessing that we are able to show you these podcasts. This podcast, this whole month of May, is being sponsored by State Farm. So we want to thank them for believing in us, but more importantly, for being a great neighbor to everyone across this country, be it Alabama, be it Georgia, Mississippi, wherever you are, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, there's a State Farm agent there for you to go and talk about your life concerns for insurance, for wealth, for a small business. And that brings us to what we're here for, small business tips. But I want to give you a tip. AJ Bizan, creative. He has an amazing studio. He does amazing things with websites and pictures. And if you need anyone to do web design and create photography for you, please check out Bizan Creative. That's our producer, AJ. Does a really great job. Give him a call and mention that you heard about him on the Be Extraordinary podcast.
Yes. Well said. Well said.
Thank you. Now we have some check-ins before the Joe Time check-in. And the check-in I'm going to start off with is that it was Mother's Day, and to all the mothers, and we want to say hopefully you had a pleasant and peaceful Mother's Day. And for those of you who didn't have your mothers present, we always say hopefully that you smiled and had a good memory of them, because those memories sustain you throughout every single day. So I had a bunch of memories with my mom, and I even wore her yellow
Yes.
for that. So that's one of my check-ins. And the other check-in is that I cannot stress the importance of making sure you get all of your vital signs checked for men and women, mammograms, prostate cancer tests, get your eyes checked, your dentist, get all of the screenings that you need to make sure that your body is in
Yes.
tip-top condition.
Because they did studies when COVID came around, late 2019 going to 20, where some people put things off,
Right.
that they had those special things that they had to get checked, and it was closed.
Yeah, you
And,
couldn't go in.
now to get an appointment and stuff, it's a little backed up, but go in.
Go in, don't let that deter you. And I had a great bill of health. I got everything that I need to get done. So I'm gonna say I'm thankful for that. And as I roll into these new months, I've gotten everything screened and I have a great result. So I'm thankful about that. You ever check it?
I always have to check in.
What's going on?
Oh, my check-in is, I guess I would say, thank you, May. Thank you, May. Thank you, May. May has hit that 70-degree mark. I actually went outside and I had a good walk. I did some push-ups. Thank you, May. Thank you, May. Thank you, May.
Yes.
So that was just my check-in. Thank you, May.
Thank you, May. But we've been waiting for May to come around. So
Yes. Oh my God.
May is here, gonna be some nice weather.
Yes.
Here we go. We want you to, this is, May has a different themes. And the one that we're gonna talk about right now will be the International Firefighter,
Yeah,
right?
that's that. That was International Firefighters Day.
Day.
Yeah.
So we have a video that we want to show to just kind of give you an overview of that. And also, since Tyrone has been retired for almost 8 years in a firefighter, I figured I would also give him a tribute by showing this video as well.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. Today on Perspectives, we're focused on the courageous men and women who sacrifice and risk their lives for others, our firefighters. May 4th, by the way, is International Firefighters Day, an opportunity to recognize and honor those who are prepared, dedicated, committed, and willing to sacrifice and serve their community. It's also a time to remember the firefighters who have lost their lives while on duty, the heroes who are undaunted, courageous, controlling their fears. Firefighters were serving and protecting Mobile, by the way, long before the city organized a paid fire department under municipal government control. Several volunteer fire companies provided services and fire protection as way back in the early 1800s. The first was organized in 1819, the Creole Steam Fire Company No. 1, followed closely by the Neptune Engine Fire Company No. 2. Now, in 1838, 6 volunteer companies formed the Mobile Fire Department Association. Then, on September 1st of 1888, Mobile's professional fire department was officially organized with a payroll of nearly $12,000 annually, and Matt Sloan was named the first fire chief. Other first, Mobile hired its first black firefighter in 1961, integrated the department in 1971, and hired its first female and assigned her to a fire company in 1987. Well, joining us today to share stories, personal and heroic, of Mobile Fire and Rescue, Captain Dwight Smith, Community Risk Reduction Coordinator, and Officer Stephen Millhouse, the Public Information Officer for Mobile Fire and Rescue. Celebrating our firefighters as we observe International Firefighters Day and preparing for another smoke alarm blitz when Perspectives continues after this quick break.
Thanks, thank you.
Yeah, so that's that information. And I want everyone, if we have any firefighters online, put your information in the chat. So we're going to send you a Joe Time Fitness shirt. So for all of the firefighters that we have on the show, if you are one, put your hand up in the chat, and we will make sure that we send you a shirt. Any firefighters retired or current?
Yes.
We want to do that, and we want to thank you for your services as
You're
well.
welcome.
Boy, this show is going to go really quickly. Our next guest that we have on the show will be Kathy Powell. She is a State Farm agent, and she is the person that will be talking to you about the financial tips for small businesses. So, Kathy, we have a little brief bio of you, and we always want our guests to write down her information so you can contact her. And what we're going to do is have Kathy explain a little bit more about what she does. So the next pretty face that you will see on the screen will be that of Kathy Powell, State Farm agent. Welcome to Be Extraordinary Podcast.
Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Joetta. Thank you, Tyrone. I really appreciate y'all inviting me and allowing me to come and spend a little time with you today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes. So if you don't mind, before we dive into our tips, can you just give us a little background about who you are and how you got your own agency?
Sure. So yes, my name's Kathy Powell. I am a State Farm agent here in Auburn, Alabama. I have been an agent for almost 19 years. I started when I was 5, obviously, but
I see.
no, but I am just thrilled to be able to be back in the Auburn area. I am from Tennessee originally, but I came to Auburn University to get both my undergraduate degree and stayed and got my MBA. So spread my wings and I flew to Atlanta, to the big city after I graduated, and got an opportunity to work in financial services as a stockbroker for Solomon Smith Barney at the time. And that's where I came to work for State Farm. When we rolled out some of our financial services products, they had folks from the industry come in to help our agents get more comfortable with selling those types of products. And that's when I came to work for State Farm, and then got the opportunity, like I said, almost 19 years ago, to get to come back here to Auburn, open my agency. And I just love being in what we love to refer to as God's country, back in God's country. I have a husband here and 2 not so small boys. I'm now the shortest person in my household. They are 13 and 15 and are both taller than I am now. So
that keeps your refrigerator really full with boys and their friends coming over all the time, I'm sure.
Exactly.
So, Kathy, let's get down to it. What are some of the first tips that you would tell someone, financial tips regarding starting their small business? What do they need to know?
Well, the very first thing I would say is budget. Really, the success and failure a lot of times depends on planning and preparation. So I try to kind of think of what are some important things to put down if you're trying to start the process of thinking of an operational budget. So, of course, there's going to be inventory costs if you are a business that sells products versus one that provides a service. You're going to have an inventory cost. You're going to have rent, utilities, those types of things that you need to kind of figure in what would those be monthly, especially if you're renting someplace versus working out of your home. Personnel, do you have staff that you're going to be hiring? Are there any people that you're going to need to be paying just to help you run the business? Insurance is obviously an important part of it. And we're going to talk a little bit about what types of policies they might need to think about in a few moments. But whatever your insurance costs will be, will need to be part of your budget. Marketing, Joetta and I both have in common that we have an undergraduate in public relations. So marketing is something that's super important to me, and I think so important to all small businesses, and especially in the beginning when you're trying to launch and have people learn who you are. Marketing becomes a big part of that. Now, not all of the marketing has a cost associated with it, but there definitely is some with a cost. So marketing, general operations from your toilet paper to your copy paper to pens, need to make sure you've got a budget for that. And then, of course, any professional fees, legal, accountant, bookkeeper, those kind of people that'll help you go. So starting with a budget to try to get an idea of what is my anticipated monthly expense going to be would be what I would start off with when it comes to the financial side of it.
So what gave you the let me do this? Like when you got to your first year, your second year, 10th year, and you said, you know what, I can really do this. What made you do it? Did somebody push you in that direction, or did you say, you know what, I'm ready to do this?
Well, I think that there's definitely something about people that are more an entrepreneurial spirit, people that just kind of want to try it and do it themselves. They see other people doing it and say, I think I can do that. And maybe in some cases, I think I might even be able to do that better. So definitely just kind of having that entrepreneurial spirit. I do like to tell all small business owners, if it's State Farm agents or any business, I tell you, I think year 2 and year 3 are the hardest years of small business ownership. And the reason that is year 1, it's challenging, but you are going on adrenaline, right? You have your name on the building for the first time or your product out there for the first time. And so it's like a high. Year 2, you're tired. You're probably not making the type of money that you would hope to make in the business yet. And so year 2 and year 3 can really be the ones that I think you see a lot of fallout, just simply because that's where the grit goes into, like the perseverance, being perturbed and having the perseverance really could come in at that point. Because year 2 and year 3, to me, it's the hardest time for, I mean, some businesses are lucky and they just go crazy from the get-go, but for many businesses, what you see.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you said that. You said the entrepreneurship spirit, and that doesn't work and sustain you is a good starting point, but you have to have a more than that. I don't even know if that's a foundation. That's just something that you can that you may be born with, but there's a lot of hard work, a lot of planning that goes into it. So when we come into your agency as a small business owner, what are some of the first things that you would tell us to help us make it not only through year 1, but year 19?
Sure. Well, so, initially what we're going to focus on are obviously the insurance needs and protecting that investment of your business. And then, of course, some of the other financial products that we can help you with, maybe not as much in year 1, but more towards year 5, 10, 15.
Okay.
So as far as the insurance goes, very first thing is people, if you are putting your money into it, if you're getting it from savings or family, or if you're doing a refinance off of your home or getting a loan from the bank, regardless of where those finances coming from, you want to make sure that they're protected if something unexpected were to happen. So I would ask you questions like, is this business going to be at a location, or is this business going to be out of your home? If it's out of your home, there's actually a small endorsement we can write on your homeowner's policy to give you some coverage for your belongings and things that you have for the business. If it's a rent, someplace you're going to rent or own, then there's a different type of a policy that we're going to be able to provide for you that's going to provide coverage. But I definitely want to tell you, it is so important if you lease or rent your place to read very carefully what your lease says. Because I personally firsthand have seen where businesses were tenants and they, wrote policies for their belongings, and unbeknownst to them, their lease required for them to cover the building, even though that wasn't theirs, and there was a fire and there was a lot of, problems when that is. So, having people bring in the lease, reading the lease, making sure that they've got their belongings covered, their landlord requirements met, and, making sure that that's not going to end a business, regardless of year 1 or year 19, something like that could catastrophically end the business. So talking about that, talking about professional liability insurance. People think of professional liability and they think it's for doctors and dentists and malpractice. And sure, most certainly that's important, but there are a lot of businesses that need a professional liability policy that may not know that they need it. And, talking to them about that. Workers' compensation. If you do have employees, if they got hurt when they were in your business, that could be a lifelong expense that you would have if you didn't have a policy in place. And many states require a policy. So talking to them about workers' compensation, and then even fidelity bonds. So it's that first meeting may make their head spin a little bit because it's a lot that we're going to go over, but it's also very important, and why it's so important to really have a good relationship with an insurance professional that helps guide that part of protecting that important asset of your business, and sometimes your personal assets too that would go off of that.
Yes.
And I'm vibing off of your energy. I think if we came into your agency and we came in with skepticism, by the time you get done with us, we would definitely believe and do exactly what you say to do. Before we go to our next small business guest that you invited on the show, could you just tell us, do you give tips for people who really don't have the funds and they want to borrow from their family or from friends? Do you talk about that to them? And I'm not going to talk about refinancing a home or taking out a second mortgage. Just right now, just getting the funds from family and friends, as opposed to investors.
Sure. Well, we don't really go much into detail with that, just simply because State Farm has partnered with US Bank. That's our bank partner right now. And we don't really have a great product at this point to offer, any help with that part of the financing. Of course, we have some budgeting tools that I could definitely lead them to, again, to help figure out how much to ask for. But it would be more so after that, helping them determine how much do I need. And then after that, they're kind of taking them down the next path. The one thing that I did want to make sure to go over outside of insurance for finance that I think is so important, it's more, it is important in year one, but a lot of times it's more of a year 5 or 10 as the businesses grow and becomes much more successful. State Farm agents, along with a lot of other places, can help with retirement plans. And right now it is so hard to find employees. We know that employees, there's a shortage. So when you find a good employee, you're trying to do everything you can to keep him or her around. So being able to offer a retirement plan, a lot of people think that's only for large corporations, and it's really not. Small businesses have many retirement plan options that are not costly, but are a nice benefit to offer. Such as there's also group life insurance. It's not, sometimes you're not providing them as much as they may need, but it's a nice benefit that's very affordable for small businesses to be able to do. And then even if it's like if it's a partnership, we a lot of times talk to them about using life insurance to fund buy sell agreements. We'll tell people when they sit down with them, you might love your partner's spouse, but you might not want to be in business with your partner's spouse. If something were to happen to your partner, you're going to want to take over ownership of the business and make sure that the spouse is adequately paid for the percentage of the ownership. And a buy sell agreement funded by life insurance is a great way to do that, as are executive bonus programs funded through life insurance. So, starting up, it's a lot of more kind of your traditional property and casualty insurance, but we can grow into much more the financial, like you talked about, and utilizing insurance to really help recruit, retain good employees and put the business in a great situation long term.
Well, thanks for sharing that information. That was a wealth of knowledge. And guess what? For those of you who have just come on, this is our agent, our first guest, Kathy Powell out of Alabama, and she's a State Farm agent, and we're talking about small business tips. And before we go to our health tips, which we do every week, sponsored by Tyrone, we're going to bring our next guest, which will be Morgan Smalley. Morgan Smalley has a small business, and she has a company called Scarlet and Gold. And Morgan, I don't see your pretty face on the screen, but I know you're there because I saw it earlier. And we're going to show up your website until you come on screen. And her business is a passion. And I know that Kathy was really excited about having her come on. So there's her website, and I want you all to look at what she does. Are you there, Morgan?
I'm here.
Okay. So Morgan, if you could be so kind, what got you started with Scarlet and Gold? That's a unique name. So give us a little backdrop of who you are and why you started this company. You have two companies.
Yeah.
You're going to hit both of them.
Yes. So I started 9 years ago, and it honestly just started as a creative outlet for me. We were making art prints. I was in full-time pharmaceutical sales and loved it and never thought that I would do anything else. But I started this on the side just to be creative and have something fun outside of the like hardcore selling of what I was doing day in and day out.
What is the this? What is you start? Tell us what the this is.
So
Because the
I
website
own Scarlet and Gold. Yes, we sell now. What we look like now is not what we looked like then, but we have a faith-based side of the business. We have a game day side of the business. So we are officially licensed by the University of Alabama and Auburn University to sell game day products. We market primarily to women. And we are probably the number one provider of game day t-shirts and apparel and accessories for women for Auburn and Alabama. And we also have just started in January a print shop. You can see behind me, we do our own printing and embroidery in-house now. And so we print for ourselves and embroider for ourselves, but we also take outside orders. That was birthed out of a frustration of being a client for lots of different print shops that just weren't providing excellence. And I was like, I'm going to do this myself. I am not getting the service that I want and the quality that I want, so I'm going to do this myself. So that is what I do.
A lot of times that's our thing as a starter. You do things by yourself. And not only does she have shirts for Auburn, Alabama. It doesn't matter if you're a big Auburn, Alabama fan. The idea is that she started a business, and she said the number one t-shirts company for women buying game day t-shirts. That's outstanding. We're going to give you an applause for that. Could you, your sound is going back and forth, but before we go to your next business, could you just be so kind as to tell us how Kathy at State Farm has helped you through your business travels?
Yeah, so I met Kathy several years ago. We were actually neighbors in our first retail shop, and I had already been a customer of hers, but through that process, she just taught us a lot about being protected as a business and educated me. I'm not a business person like y'all. I was a PR major in college. And so I don't know the ins and outs of business insurance. And she was always advising us every step of the way to like, hey, don't forget, like a huge part of our business is online. Hey, don't forget about this piece of the policy that's going to protect your online business. And just to be a resource for me, like I think I encourage other entrepreneurs to say you don't have to know everything about everything. You just need to surround yourself with people that are experts in that subject matter, and that is Kathy for me regarding insurance.
And thank you for sharing it. We have one more site, and we want you in the audience to go visit these sites and support them the best you can. Could you briefly, give us a short elevator speech of your second business, Ink and Thread?
Yes, so Ink and Thread is a printing and embroidery shop, and our passion is to help you create apparel and accessories that people actually want to wear. So when you come to us, you're going to get a full service design and print shop. And what we're going to do is take your idea and bring it to life with our creative team and help advise you on what blanks to print it on or what blanks to embroider it on, so that the final product is something that you can really be proud of. So if you're looking to have t-shirts, hats, jackets, sweatshirts printed or embroidered, we would love to help you.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, congratulations, continued
Yes.
success. And could you be so kind as to once again give our audience your two websites, and we want you to go visit them and support small businesses. I think that we say small. I'm thinking we're going to take that word small off of your business.
It's the first one is scarletandgoldshop.com, scarlet with one T and goldshop.com. The second one is inkandthread.co, not .com, .co, and you'll find all the information there.
Wow.
For continued success, and thank you for coming on the show. And
Thank
we
you.
don't go anywhere. We're going to
Yes.
wind up with you on the back end.
Okay.
Thank
We're
you.
moving through the show,
Yes.
but we can't leave without you giving us your health tips. So everybody get ready for the Joe Time Health Tip by Tyrone. Thank you for always putting together some great health tips. I can't wait to hear what you're going to say.
You can't wait to hear what I'm about to say.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All I want to know is if I mention this new health tip, I just want to know that you go out and get it.
Me?
Okay, yes, you. Okay. This week's health tip is going to stay in that green. I like the green, the outdoor green, leafy.
Money.
Money. So what did I do last week? Do you remember?
Last week we did
It was in the water.
Watercress. No, last week we did oh gosh, I forgot.
Seymour.
Seymour's, that's right.
How did you forget? And it was like 7 C. She's supposed to be my partner.
Yeah, I forgot.
So right now we're gonna go through something that's in the family of, that's nutritional. You can use it in different ways, and it's very good for you.
Well, I know the Seymour's has 92.
102.
Has
Has
92 of the
102 vitamins that you might want to eat.
I know that.
Okay, this is watercress. Okay, watercress. This leafy green. This is wow. I'm gonna read what you wrote, but I'm gonna try to put it in my own little
Okay.
words. Okay, it's a leafy green vegetable. It's one of the first that they tried out during Thanksgiving. Okay, so watercress is a perennial plant that is related to the garden cress, the mustard, the radish, the kale, and it's usually found in Europe or Asia. Watercress is widely used and cultivated and is known for its peppery flavor. You can eat it raw, cooked, or pureed. Now, what I did was when I first got watercress was I used it in a smoothie because I actually took a leaf and I ate one. And when they say peppery, it tastes just like somebody got pepper and put on that. So by the time I watered it down with the smoothie, it was pretty good. Okay, these are the benefits of eating watercress. Okay, it helps stops and slows aging process. The aging process. This one right here is already looking like a superstar at 35.
Thank you. My new best is right.
Helps lower your blood pressure. Helps fight breast and colon cancer. It improves your eye health. Helps maintain healthy levels of iron. Helps maintain a strong immune system. Contributes to a healthy gut. That's really important. Aids in the recovery of exercise and sports. So that gut one is really important. It helps reset that gut. Okay, so now these are some of the things you need to watch out for when it comes to watercress. Okay, watercress is rich in vitamin K. For many people, this is perfectly fine. However, people who are on the blood thinning medication, be careful because you shouldn't take too much of it. Watercress is also high in nitrates, which can be converted into nitrates. Nitrates converted into nitrate. It's exposed to bacteria. Nitrates have been linked to increase, wow, this is important, the risk of stomach cancer. So what you don't want to do is always be careful when you're about to do something, even though this is called the vegetable. Do your homework on it and don't eat too much of it if your stomach can't handle that. Okay, these are some of the tips on how to prepare watercress. That's how I started. When I first got it 2 weeks ago, I washed it off. I trimmed off all the leaves, the stalk, actually the stalk. So I just put the leaves in a pot and I soaked it for about 10, 15 minutes. I patted the leaves down and I put it into my smoothie and it was delicious. So watercress, different recipes. You can use it in a salad. You can put it on a sandwich, decorate your pizza. I see a lot of people doing it on their pizzas. They put it in soups. So it's a lot of different things that you can do with watercress. And we have a bottom line for you.
Wow, Tyrone, that's great. The bottom line, watercress is a powerhouse vegetable that packs several important nutrients, but is extremely low in calories and can be eaten daily. So that's what we have for our watercress and our Joe Time health tips. And if anyone goes to the store and they do buy anything that we talk about, or if you take the advice of our health tips, send us an email at joetimefitness@gmail.com. So and let us know how you feel, how it affected you, and what your thoughts were. We'd appreciate that.
And like I said, once again, that these things have been around for a long time. So when you start to use them, it might have a direct effect sometimes because you're eating clean, and sometimes might have an adverse effect on you. That's based on what type of medications you might be taking. So be a little at a time. Take a couple of these, put it in a smoothie, or do it as a sandwich, or whatever you need to do. Okay.
For those of you who are just coming on, we were talking about our month of May, and it's International Firefighters Day. It was May 4th. But if anyone out there is a retired firefighter or still working, let us know in our chat, and we will send you a T-shirt, a Joe Time T-shirt. And speaking of T-shirts, last week we mailed out our shirt to Willie Durham, who was in the military. So he got his shirt mailed out, so he should be getting that soon. Now our next,
He was from Alabama.
he was from Alabama, he sure was.
We have a lot of Alabama.
Alabama. Next pretty face will be that of Kathy. She's going to come back on. Kathy Powell, State Farm agent. She's been doing this for 19 years, and we've been talking about health tips, financial tips, and also insurance tips. So Kathy, welcome back on the show, and we look forward to having you speak to our guest.
Thank you.
Yes, there you are. So do you want to continue on? We were talking about some budgeting. We talked about personal insurance. You mentioned marketing. that seems to be something that you have a big passion for. So can you speak to our guests as to the importance of doing marketing, be it something that you're paying or non-paid marketing?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So, yes, people joke and they say if they slow down around me too long, I'm going to I'll tattoo my name on them because I like to put my name on so many things. I really do. There's not many marketing I found that I haven't loved, but I took the approach when I opened my agency that I really wanted to put a lot of marketing out initially to really create a splash and make it seem like I've been here for years rather than just opening. And I thought that was important to do as I came into a smaller market area. Obviously, if you're building a business in a large city or a large town, it's going to be very different. And I think that would be kind of tip number one, is just really look at your environment. Look at where are you physically, geographically located? What are you trying to sell your product or your service? If you have a product like Megan's that you could send anywhere, obviously the world is what you're marketing to, versus if you have something that's more that's more of a local type of an item. But promotional items are always good to put your name on, to give out if you are more of that local item. Social media and online marketing has grown so much, and I don't even begin to know but just the smallest bit of it, but that it is a big part of every business. So
Yes.
regardless if you're an insurance agent, or if you're selling wonderful clothing, or if you're doing more of a home-based business, social media and social marketing becomes such an important thing. And you can actually pay a small amount of money through boosting those things and have a pretty big impact on what you're doing. For me, I focus a lot on my centers of influence. So if it's in insurance, it might be real estate agents or car dealerships or apartments. But if you're selling a product, your spheres of influence may be more like influencers now, where you're looking towards those people that can wear your product, speak to your product, and by the fact that they have such a large following, can really get notoriety to your product in a very short amount of time. So there's really not a one size fits all for everyone when it comes to marketing, but it's very important for everyone, in my opinion. So just to really look at your business and look at your location and figure out what is the most I can spend that's reasonable, that's wise, but that can really create a splash and grow my brand as quickly as possible, so that year 2 and 3, you're further along than where you want to be. So
Yeah, because I remember this one right here, Joetta wanted to do a perfume. But what happened was she thought outside the box. She said, you know what, I don't want a perfume for, the athletes to have to spray the perfume while they're running, because you're sweating, she said, you know what, I want to make this eco-friendly. I want to make this clean. So the first element that she wants to do, the first ingredient, was cucumber, because she did her homework and said cucumber is an exfoliant. She said a lot of people sit there and put the cucumber on their eyes and it takes the da-da-da-da. So then when we started, before the perfume, we had gone to a track meet and her daughter was competing and we didn't have deodorant, whatever, cut a piece of cucumber, put it on her arm, and she ran the whole time. And I said, so she started to develop her perfume out of a cucumber and did it in such a well, it smells so good.
It's natural.
It's natural, and it's a roll-on, and it's not a spray. And I said that was just,
that's
because she used to say, like, I go to the track meets, and these girls don't want to keep using their
perfume,
their expensive perfume to sit in the sun to compete for 8 hours. They're like, no, I want to use this to go out. I don't want to keep,
Right.
And that was one of the things that I was just so impressed with when Joetta designed that perfume,
But thanks for the plug.
Yes.
I appreciate that. And the good thing about it, when you look at having a small business, sometimes you go in one direction and then sometimes you have to veer off.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that a tip would be, it may be something that you want to do, but I don't know if you have to be, I don't say all in, but things change. You need to be able to change and morph with it. And I'm sure with your business, you've had to change, and people's needs have changed, and families grow from 1 kid to 2 kids, from 1 car to 3 cars. So you have to be able to change as well. So I think being an agent, you see a lot of that out there.
Definitely. I think flexibility is probably one of the most important facets of being a small business owner, because yes, best laid plans go in one direction. I think it's so important to have planning and preparation, but even best laid plans, you need to be able to shift if you need to, and be flexible. But to that example, just doing research and finding a product that has a need, that's a wonderful story, and how it can come to fruition. That's really great.
And when you do that, it's important to have that budget, like you said, write
Yes,
that down
yeah.
and stay within the budget, and don't spend money on things that you don't necessarily have to, but you can't be cheap on yourself. You're gonna have to invest in your business. So why not invest in you? Speaking of investing in you, we're gonna go to our next small business person, and Kathy, we're gonna come back to you, so don't go anywhere.
All right.
So our next person on air will be Camille and her daughter Amara, and they have a company called MAM, M-A-M, Mom and Mommy and Me Glam Cosmetics. And this was a passion, a business started by a mother and daughter. And what a beautiful way to leave a legacy for your daughter, as to see her seeing you do something, but more importantly, getting involved in what you're doing. So Camille and Amara, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, there
Hello.
they are, looking pretty and pink.
Hello.
Well, we are just thrilled to have you on the show. I mean, talking about cosmetics and beauty, as women, we always want to make ourselves look as beautiful as possible. And I just want to thank you and your daughter for taking time to get some products out there that will do that. So we have a slide of the two of you, but we're going to come back to you real in person. But we want everyone to look at this slide. We want you to write down that website. And more importantly, we want you to go visit that website, because there are some amazing products. She just launched this company on Mother's Day. The website is up, and we want you to go and support her products. And we're going to talk about her lipsticks, and we're going to talk about her kids products, and we're going to give you all of that information on this show. So write down that website, mamglamcosmetics.com. Go to the website and purchase. She's waiting for you, and she's able to fulfill all of your requests immediately. Camille and Amara, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
What made you start this company?
Okay, how we started this company was, we also have a food business that we run throughout the summer months, and we were on hiatus. We had a lot of downtime. And so we felt like we wanted to find something else to do to keep us busy. And so Amara and I were actually sitting at this table, our dining room table, and we thought to develop a cosmetic company, actually a lip kit for a mom and daughter that would contain the lipstick for the mother and the lip gloss for the daughter. And here we are. That's how it started.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Now, we're going to go back to your website in a second, but before we do that, we want to ask Amara a question. You're working alongside Mommy. So how does it feel to have your own company? And how old are you?
I'm 6, and it's good to have my own company.
Wow.
And when you work with Mommy, do you give her suggestions on products or what looks good or what smells good?
Yeah.
So what do you say to Mommy?
I say, that looks good. You should put that on the website.
Wow, look at that. And we talk about our kids, and a lot of times they give us problems, but when you have such a smart and thoughtful and person, little one that has the visions, and it makes you accountable, because you want this to be successful, not only for you, but for her. So what is it that you want to get out of this product? What do you want to tell our listeners about this? And I'm going to hold up some of these, and we're going to do a website as well. But what do you want our listeners to know, the women out here to know about this product? What makes it MAM different? That's M-A-M.
Right, MAM, and that's an acronym for Mommy and Me.
Yes.
So what's different about MAM Glam products is there are unique luxury cosmetic products. And we can show you. Amara, would you like to demonstrate?
Okay.
This is our kid. Go ahead, Jen.
This is one of the kid lip glosses. It's a shaped like a pencil. It's good for like a teacher's gift. Right here, you open it on the top. Open it on the top. It's shaped as a pencil. Up here, you open it from up here. There's an eraser. Looks like a real pencil. And yeah.
And this
Wow.
is one of our adult lip glosses. It's actually our color Miss Independent, which is a very beautiful color for this time of year, spring. And what's unique about this is it has a light on the tube
Wow.
and a mirror.
Yes. Now, this is something very creative. And ladies, I want you to go to this website and look at these products. This one that I have, I was just so impressed. You can see the light that's there. And then there's a mirror here. So as you're putting it on, you can look. And there you go. Ingenious. That's just amazing. And it's very, see the light? It's very smooth. It's not sticky. It goes on really easily. So thank you for sharing that. That's a really creative idea with the mirror on the side and the light. So then you have the other one. You're from out of Newark, New Jersey. So we have the Brick City. I think that's what this one is, the Brick City.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout
And
out
so
to Newark Brick City.
Yes, yes. So can you put that website back up? Because there was some amazing shapes that you had. There's one of an umbrella and things like that. So yeah, AJ's put that up there. So could you just speak to some of these? And she mentioned that it was luxury cosmetics. So why did you tag that word luxury on there?
Well, we say luxury because the feel that it gives you, as you mentioned, as you mentioned for yourself from your own experience, it's not sticky. It's not a goopy feel. It's a very smooth feel. It glides on nice. It wears well. It's very light. When you think of luxury, it's a comfortable feeling. Luxury in terms of what's luxurious. So I'd like to attribute it to being a luxury brand.
Well, I think that when we look at the lip gloss and your lipsticks and the children's product as well, I think that if you had to say one thing to our audience, what takeaway would you give, Camilla? Then I'm going to ask Amara, what takeaway would she want to tell the parents as to why they should get this product for their kids? So we'll go first with you, Camilla.
Well, I would say the takeaway is Ma'am Glam Cosmetics is the only place that you will find these cosmetics and these products.
Okay. And then, Amari, why would you tell mommy to get this for their daughters?
Because it looks fun. Because this would be a nice gift for my teacher.
Oh.
Wow, you see that? So you can go to that website and, it was Teachers Appreciation Week a little while ago. So you can go to the website and buy those products for the teachers, even though it was last week. That'd be something great. And then also for graduations, you could buy this. And can you put together a collection for people if they want?
Yes, we have the ability to make gift baskets. If there are women's events, baby showers, birthday parties, we can put together gift baskets or anything you may need. Please contact us.
So when did you say you started this business?
We actually just, the idea came to us in December of 2021.
Oh.
So how did, with the products, the stuff that you needed, was it hard trying to get enough product before you started to, put it together and distribute it?
It was a process finding the right manufacturer to work with.
Yeah.
But we did, find the right people to work with. And so we have so much successful doing that for us.
Okay.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. I want everyone to go to the website. Say the website once again for us.
It's mamglam.cosmetics.com.
Okay. You want to say it for us, Amara?
mamglamcosmetics.com @gmail.com.
Oh, and she is the website too. The little entrepreneur that she is. Thank you very much. I know I'm going to go on that site and support. We want all of you to support it as well. And she said something that was really good. When you have your conventions and conferences, and you want to give away products, consider giving away, having a sponsor support giving this product, because you get tired of getting water bottles and when I go to these events, or getting a magnet. So I think this would be a nice, great, affordable luxury product. And women of color, you have women of color, you have colors for all ethnicities.
Colors
So
for all ethnicities, all shades of women. Mhm.
that's right. So thank you very much for coming on, and go to manglamcosmetics.com.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
Having a business, having your daughter be part of the business, and making sure that you leave a legacy for, and who knows, it starts off with the lipstick. Now it may be go into some men products eventually. You never know. But the fact of the matter is that she started.
I know it's not gonna go.
I'm just trying to. Okay, not going. All right. I was trying to help out.
If it goes into the men, it better be sports. It better be horse racing. It better be football.
She thought
That's the only way you can sell it. You got to go to one of the marinas.
Well, we'll deal with the women for that.
Okay.
There's a bunch of us out here.
Yes.
Hey, Kathy, where are you? I don't see your pretty face on the screen. It's about to wind down, but we want to give you the opportunity to tie this all together. So Kathy Powell, State Farm agent, will you please come on and bring us home with some your final tips financially and small business tips?
Of course. Thank you again for having me. It's been a great show, and it's great to hear all these small businesses talk about their journey. I would say finally, just to kind of wind us up for the day, that preparation, budgeting, to find all the important advisors that you can, be it an accountant, be it an attorney, and of course, an insurance professional. State Farm, people know that of us for auto insurance, but we do so much more. We love to work with small business owners. We have tons of products available. So of course, your local State Farm agent would be a great place to turn, but whoever it is, to find someone outside of just going on an internet search, sit down with someone. It's so important to get that protection. And then to really try to think about, how do I grow this business? If it's through marketing, if it's through hiring and recruiting, and coming up with incentives, different ways to bring the best employees on board, just doing everything you can to put that passion into reality for you.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for sharing and having a passion. As I said earlier, I know that if I came into your facility, to your agency, that you will be able to sell something and make sure that my business is safe. So please make sure you visit your local State Farm agent to make sure that your small business has everything that it needs to be successful. As Kathy said, year one is fine, but that year 2 and 3, if you need somebody to help out, like a good agent, State Farm will be there to help you through that course. So you can be in business for 19 years.
Yes.
Like Kathy, over 20 years, that's over 25 years now. I've been a small business, so I'm thankful for that. And Megan Smalley, are you still on here? Because we want you to do one more last close. Could you just give us one more last takeaway for our audience to support your website and support your initiatives as well?
Yeah, if you are looking for game day apparel or a faith-based encouraging product, or just have a need to have shirts printed or embroidered for an event coming up or your business, I would love to help you, and our team would love to help you. So thank you so much for having us on.
You're welcome. Well, this show went by really fast. And speaking of fast, we had a track and field camp coming up, but we're gonna have a lot of fast kids. So if you live in the Lehigh Valley area, or if you know anyone that lives in that area, please send them to our 21st annual track and field camp, July 26th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. The camp is from 8:30 to 3 o'clock every day. And we're there every day doing a great job with all of our kids. So share this slide with everybody. And if you want to be a sponsor on the show, please contact us at joetimefitness@gmail.com and subscribe.
That's right.
To our YouTube channel, the Joetime Fitness YouTube channel. And Joetime is spelled
JOTYME.
And last week we asked you to tell us what the ME stood for. No one gave us the answer.
No, so we give them the answer.
We have to give it to them today.
Okay. So Joetime Fitness is JO, which is Joe, TY, which is Ty, and ME is
move every day.
So when we decided to make this an official fitness app, we wanted to make it not just to do workouts all the time, or fitness is everything. I mean, physical fitness, mental fitness, that's what we wanted. So a lot of times, what we did was health, wellness, and fitness.
Right.
And we wanted to, AJ can't put us on the big screen.
Okay. We have Kathy. We still
Yes.
looking at Megan on the big screen, drinking the water.
So
We should be on the big screen.
yes. So that Joe Fitness is actually a year and a couple of days old already. And we actually do it every single day. Every single day we do something in that aspect of Joe Fitness.
Right.
Even if it's motivational, speaking to somebody, even if it's trying to uplift spirits,
Yes.
if it's trying to give you a health tip about the watercress,
Yes.
about the watercress, or some type of different type of vegetable that you can include into your diet. Just like Megan just did, drink water, and that's the number one thing. Like when we talk about small businesses and things like that, you can't become who you are and do well in any business if your mind, body, and soul is not right. If you're not putting those things into your mind to sustain that business, you're not putting enough nutrition in your body to be alert enough to keep it going. And you have to have a team.
Yes.
They always say you have to have a team.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. So I was going to say that we have our show next week, and these next 2 weeks will still be sponsored by State Farm. But what we want to do is make sure that you're on next week as well. If you came on late, this will be up on our YouTube channel, and which will be Joe Fitness. That's on YouTube, and also Joe Fitness is on Facebook. Next week we have an amazing show, and it will be a topic that will be dear and near to everybody.
Yes.
It'll be called disaster planning for small businesses. We don't want to have a disaster, but if we do, State Farm will be able to help you do that. So until next time.
So what you just said made me just perk up real quick.
Why?
You have to plan for these things. You just said disaster plan.
Yes.
So a lot of times we don't have that, like you said, that exit route, or that how do you come up from when it goes down?
Mhm.
I used to always say that. Like I remember saying to you, Joette, I'm walking into this room, how many walls is
Yeah,
there?
no, right.
And you always would look around and say it's 4 walls.
Four.
I said, but if I got trapped and I couldn't get out any window or door, I have to go through the ceiling or the floor.
Yes.
I have to go up or down. So that made it 6 walls. 6 walls, but everybody would just think it's 4 walls. So
Yes.
I was planning on, my escape route.
Yes.
So the same thing with a small business. What you want to do is, plan on if something was to happen.
Yes.
It could be, the weather. It could be a financial disaster, the
Yes.
stock market going down. It could be a COVID situation,
Mhm.
and you have to, come out of it,
Okay.
overcome.
Overcome.
You have to overcome.
Well, we've overcome a lot in this last 1 hour, and I just want to say this too. I keep licking my lips. This is just amazing. I'm just so intrigued with the light that's on here
Yes.
and in the mirror, so you can see. I'm gonna run out of this within the first week because I'm putting it on all
Yes.
the time. But that's pretty cool. You can see everything here, and as Kathy said, when you have a small business budget. So I'm sure that Megan and Camille and Amara have budgeted for their business. They have their inventory all itemized, and they have insurance, and they also have marketing that will help people know that they're out there. And that's what we want you to know. If you like this show, please don't keep it a secret. Share it with other people.
Yes.
So next Wednesday, we want to see all of you back here at the same time, 5:30 East Coast time, 4:30 Central time, and that'll be 2:30 Pacific time. We want you to be extraordinary, and as we always say, it doesn't matter what road you take, but what you become along the journey. Thank you for taking this journey along with us this week, and we will see you next week on the Be Extraordinary podcast.
Yes. So everybody have a lovely evening.